everyone, you're welcome to another video, and in today's video I'll be showing you guys how to smoke or dry fish for exportation and for home use. This method is not only limited to this particular kind of fish. There are many others in this same basin, and you will see as we go. This is the traditional method of smoking or drying fish, and it is used by so many people despite the locality or even the country, talk less of the region. So it is very time friendly and cost friendly. As we proceed, I'll list the various names of the fish about to be smoked, of the different kinds of fish about to be smoked, and let us just watch our screens as we go. Now, when it comes to smoking fish, there are a couple of things that needs to be done before getting into the process of smoking or drying your fish proper. This is sea fish. This is directly from the boat of the fishermen, so it is still very much fresh. The gills are still red. So you're just going to wash your fish, whether you are smoking mackerel, you're smoking bar, or any other. You're going to wash your fish properly first. You wash it a couple of times. This is to get rid of the smell, and equally to get rid of any dirt or sand which has been rubbed on it or which it has rubbed on. So you're going to wash it properly. Now, when it comes to smoking or drying fish, taking out the stomach is not compulsory. As it is like this, you can choose to dry it like this. However, in our situation or in our case, we are not going to take out the stomach. If you're someone who dries fish for commercial purposes, I doubt if you take out the stomach. If you take out the stomach and every other thing, what's there to be fixed before cooking? Well, that's an aside, that's just a joke. But when you take out the stomach of fish and you dry it, it looks way smaller. It's just open. It does not really look attractive. That's just how it is. So you either see people sell fish as a whole that you need to fix at home, or they fix the fish for you and sell it that way. That's how it operates. So now we are going to sprinkle some salt and add our fish gradually. Now, this salt has a lot of purposes when it comes to smoking or drying fish. Salt is not only for taste, salt is equally used as a preservative. It is going to help preserve the fish. So you're going to add salt bit by bit in layers as you go. How therefore do you know if salt is enough for your fish or not? You can decide to taste it. Well, a lot of people might not decide to taste it, but you can just continue to add your fish and sprinkle just a bit for benefit of doubt. Just sprinkle a bit, and when you toast it like this, you're trying to mix in the salt and the fish. You're trying to mix everything together, and you can just decide to touch your basin and taste. If it's too salty, you're going to rinse it and use a basket to drain out the excess water, and then salt it all over again. The worst thing that can happen to you is to oversalt your fish. If you add it to food, you have to be careful with your seasonings. So this is the step 2, which is arranging everything needed. And when it comes to drying or smoking fish, as per the traditional method, you need this grillage and this cast or can. It is it that is used in most cases. However, there's another basket that is used to smoke or dry fish, and there's equally another way that is used where they build blocks and they cross this grillage and put firewood underneath. So that's just how it is being done. However, this method is air fryer friendly. Unlike the method used in drying or smoking meat, fish is quite different because it's practically just salt. You equally need toothpick. However, if you can get your hands on the longer ones, the skewers, you can use them. Now for this fish, you're just going to wrap. You're not going to use any toothpick on it. So now this is the method or the process used in smoking fish. You need to wrap your fish. If you go to the market to buy fish and you see like this, no, it was wrapped like this, you can equally just decide to spread them in a straight manner and let them dry by themselves. But that is not really the best option needed when it comes to smoking fish like this. That applies to mostly fish such as munyanya, mololo, stronkanda. So for this one, this is how you wrap it. You need to take the tail of the fish and put it in the mouth of the fish or across the mouth, and then use your toothpick to pierce underneath, that's the downer lip, way up to the upper lip, so the tail is not able to come out. I'll do it a couple of times so you're going to see it properly. This is a bonus point. Please, when you're smoking fish using this traditional method, please wear your least favorite clothes because fish tends to smell. For the various kinds of fish smoked, we have douget, we have brookmarit, we have mashwarong, we have mosobo, we have munyanya. Personally, the two very different fish we have here is mashwarong and douget. Because you're using a cask or can does not mean you should fill up everywhere with firewood, because your fish is going to burn. Your fish is going to burn. At some point, you will not really need fire, you need just the smoke. So at some point you have to get rid of the excess fire under your fish and just let smoke get to your fish. Now when tying this or when wrapping this, you get to realize how the fish has been placed. It is not just placed anyhow, so that's why you need to watch the video. It is lined up properly, but it is not just placed anyhow. As you can see, it is placed on the stomach. Why? Because the stomach will definitely take longer to get dry. So it is placed on the stomach and it is not just placed anyhow. It is only when you are done lining it underneath completely in a circular form before you can proceed to line on top. And in as much as you're lining on top, you therefore should still place the ones on top on their stomachs. Place it on their stomachs because the stomach takes longer to cook compared to the other parts of the fish. If you flip it and you line it on its back or on its head, you're going to realize that with time, majority of your fish is not yet dry, because in as much as it is even dried in this method or in this way through on the stomach, it still gets to be a little bit wet. Some of them in particular get to be a little bit wet. So make sure you line your fish on your stomach as I have shown here, please, because once you start to get fish that is not properly dry and you set it aside, you're actually going to experience fish that will get bad easily. Now the next process is to cover with cartons or zinc. If you have a zinc which is big enough, you can use it to cover your fish. So if your carton cannot go all around or covers a specific portion, you should cut it and cover it well. This is so that the heat is trapped and it tends to smoke the fish faster and properly. Now we started smoking this fish around 5:30 p.m. and we were almost done at 11 p.m. So at 11 p.m. we were taking it off the fire and this is how it was looking. It was looking so good. I really loved this color. If you have those baskets that I speak of, you can just place your fish inside and hang. Well, if you're using a traditional kitchen, you can let this sit, then take out the firewood so it does not burn in the night, so it continues to dry till morning. But if you do not have it, then you can just pack it in a basin and resume drying the next day. Why? This is because the ones on top are not fully dried, and however, smoking fish is a continuous process. Sometimes you can decide to smoke it on the fire, or sun dry it. This is so that it does not get bad, it will not spoil. So this is how you tend to preserve fish. In most cases, some people freeze it, some people pack them in ziploc bags and freeze, or just keep in the refrigerator. Others just tend to sun them or sun dry them from time to time so they don't get hot and start getting bad or smell. We achieved over 15 liters worth of smoked fish, and we kept it in this basin and only covered it with a basket so flies do not settle on it. The next day we proceeded to place it back on our grill and then covered it with our carton. You can mostly see smoke if you're observant. This is because we do not really need fire to dry it the next day, we just need smoke. And as you can see, this is how it looks inside. It has gotten dry, and drying it to a certain point might cause it to break, but it was still very much okay because once you put this in water or hot water, it just automatically revives. That's what happens. And we are just going to show you how it looks inside. You can break the head and just remove the stomach and also the toothpick. So this is how it looks inside. When you dry fish, do not over dry so it does not tend to break and break. So this is how it looks. If you intend on exporting this, then you have to sun dry or smoke dry every day until when you're about to transport it. You can wrap in cement papers and then seal in your ziploc plastics. At least you can double them so it does not smell, but you have to make sure you dry it properly. You can also store this in plastic basins, but drying is a continuous process like I said. Thank you for watching. For the various types or kinds of fish we have here with us, mushroom, that's catfish. We have here with us munyanya. It is actually very small. It is one of the most common types of fish that is usually dried. We also have brook marrows. I remember in one of my vlogs I showed brook marrows fish. It scatters in the pot a lot, that's why they call it brook marrows. We also have douget. I don't know if that's how they call it, but it's the fish that is round, that eel. Yes, that's how they call it. If you know how they call it better, please let me know in the comment section, but that's something like that. Then we have many more. I'll leave some of them in the comment section or in the description box. Thank you guys so much for watching. Now lest I forget, when you freeze fish and you try to thaw it afterwards, it scatters. For some of them, they scatter a lot. So this is the fish that they call the douget, and this is how it looks. It is this eel. It is added to meals such as eru and it's usually fixed before it is sold in the market. You can still buy like that, and this is a kind of fish that can be frozen because it is usually fixed and stored in wrappings and just placed in the freezer, so it works perfectly fine most times.